welcome back to Rue's Life and welcome to day 2 of my Live Your Best Life challenge. And I use challenge in the very loosest term. It's something that for me, if I engage with all of the things that I'm talking about over the next days, it just makes for a more grounded, more balanced life. So day number 2, and my tip is to get rid of your television. Mind blowing. I actually haven't had a television now for about 15 years. And I know there are a minority out there, there's a few other people out there. Do drop me a comment below if you're one of those people. Now I get that there's an awful lot of good stuff on the telly, but I can honestly say I haven't missed a television. I do still catch up and watch things, so I will watch films and I will watch series. But I do find that I can do that very much on my own terms. And I think I personally find that in many households there's a television in every room and it's on 24/7. Now I'm not saying that's every single person. I'm sure there are those of you that are very disciplined and perhaps have a television or have certain times of day that you watch it. But I've become very aware, especially when I visit other places. Even if you go and have a drink in the pub, there's a huge big television dominating the room. When you go to visit somebody, there's a television on in the kitchen, or even if it's not on in the kitchen, it's on in the living room, and it's the focal point. And conversation is lost. People tend to eat their food in front of the television, or even if they don't, everybody is drawn to this television, not really listening to each other. And I find by not having a television, as I say, I can watch things, but very much on my terms. So I know we have catch up these days and people can use catch up, but it still is a little bit, got to get home in time for the soap operas. And once people flump down in the armchair or on the sofa, put it on, it's very easy to go from one thing to another to another. But more importantly than that, what we find is by not having a television, we sit at the dining table for all our meals and we talk. We have a good old chit chat about, if it's at the end of the day and we've both been working, we can have a good old chat about that and just talk about life in general and what we're planning to do. And that's when plans are hatched and, good and positive things come. So for me, it was just going without television, decided I'm not having a television, stopped having one, haven't had one, as I say, for about 15 years. But it could be that, as with the social media, you choose to limit the time that you have. Just become more aware, more mindful of how much that television dominates. So if you think back, and we live very much in a traditional cottage here, the focal point of this room is actually the fireplace. And we've got 3 beautiful windows looking out all different directions. So I can spend time, I can see the chickens out of one window. There's a beautiful view out of that window, and the other one just looks out over the drive. But traditionally in houses, the fireplace was the focal point of any room. And everybody had a dining room or a dining table that they would sit around at meal times and engage with each other. Whereas nowadays that television seems to have become the focal point of a room and everybody seems to be drawn to that. And a lot of the advertising that's on television can be very negative, and doesn't have a particularly positive impact on people's lives. So that's my tip number 2. Get rid of your television and you'll find that, again, a whole load of other opportunities and, positivities will open up to you. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with my tip number 3. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.